Hi everyone, welcome back to Discover and Learn. Why speaking in English is so hard and to communicate our ideas in front of people is even harder. Do you agree with this? Yes, I do agree with this. Speaking in English is difficult and communicating our ideas in the right way in front of people is even difficult or even harder. Even I used to think the same. And it is a truth. Communication is a skill, or to communicate is a skill, right? How do you have a conversation with people and how long you have that conversation depends on your communication skills, right? If you're a good communicator, then definitely you're going to express your ideas in the best possible way, and person listening to you will also be interested in speaking to you. And then the conversation can go on. And then the conversation goes on smoothly. But if you are not a very good communicator, if you're not able to present your ideas in the right way, right manner, the right sequence, then definitely the person listening to you will not be interested in having a conversation with you. And your conversation will collapse or will break or will stop. So guys, today I'm going to take up this problem and I'm going to tell you top 3 things which really helps us to be a good communicator or to be good at having a conversation with people in English. Are you ready for it? Let's talk about things which will help us to improve our communication skills, to improve our English fluency, to improve our confidence, and to improve our conversational skills. Right? We all are learning to speak English fluently and confidently. But if we don't know the right things on how to master this, how to be good at speaking in English, then it's of no use. Right? Ultimately, we want to be a good communicator. We want to speak English fluently and confidently. And we want to have good conversation with people, right? And we are going to do it together today. On that note, guys, welcome back to my channel. I am your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. And if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, quickly subscribe my channel, like and share my videos, do write your comments in the comment section, and don't forget to press the notification icon so that you get all my videos on time, free of cost, and access to all the amazing content on this channel. What you have to do is stay tuned, stay connected, and watch my entire video to master this skill. To be an effective communicator is a skill, definitely. But we can master this skill. We need to polish ourselves. We need to enhance that skill. We need to develop that skill. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about 3 things which we need to pay attention to, or we need to start doing from today to be a good communicator. Okay, if you have some more ideas in mind, I'm just speaking about 3 things. There might be many others. There might be other skills as well which you feel is important to be a good communicator. So you can add those skills and you can start speaking on this topic, right? You can listen to me twice or thrice. You can jot down my ideas or pointers. Start speaking on your own after listening to my video. At any point of time, if you are not able to understand, listen it twice or thrice to understand it completely and jot down the ideas and then speak up. You can speak with me, repeat after me also, shadow with me also. But the best thing is if you listen to my speech and jot down the ideas or pointers, add your own ideas and then start speaking on your own. Right? So that will be the best thing. Switch on your video cam, or you can stand in front of the mirror, or you can do self-talk as well. But take 3 attempts at least to see if you are improving. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about, which will help us to be a good communicator, is listening. Yes, guys, listening is very important. You'll ask me, to be a good communicator, why do we need to listen? If we are listening only, then when we will speak? Hold on. I'm going to tell you why. So why listening is very important. When somebody is talking to you, you should listen to them or to that person completely with full concentration and focus. Why? Just because when you're listening to that person, you are trying to understand what the person is trying to communicate. Whether that person's English or any other language or communication is good or bad doesn't matter. You have to pay attention, you have to focus so that you understand what the other person is trying to convey. And once you get that idea, once you get that message, what the person is trying to convey, it will be much easier for you to speak on that. If at all, if you don't focus on what the other person is saying, if you have just heard half of the things and you start speaking on it, then you might probably make a mistake. You might have picked something from his speech or her speech and you have started speaking on it, which the other person doesn't mean to, right? So that is why you have to focus and listen to that person completely. Once that person has spoken, then you should speak. Okay, that is the best thing. One of the skills which will help you to be a good communicator. Okay, listening and understanding the context, the idea, the message is very important to speak on it. Okay, so this is the first thing you have to do. Number 2, to be a good communicator, you have to have knowledge on that subject. If somebody is sharing some experience about technology, right, or about a machine or anything else, for example, okay, and you don't know about it. For example, if I take an example of ChatGPT, if somebody is talking to me about ChatGPT and I don't even know what ChatGPT is, how will I speak? What will I talk to that person? I will only listen to that person, right? And if I try speaking something, I might go terribly wrong in that. So don't attempt anything which you don't know, right? And that is why gaining knowledge on different subjects is very important to be a good communicator in English or whichever language you want to, right? So that is why whatever is happening around the world, across the world, in the field of technology, science, arts, commerce, environment, economics, environment, sports, entertainment, etc. There are lots of topics which are there, which we need to pay attention to, which are generally spoken during our conversations, right? We can take a newspaper, we can listen to some news, we can read some article to gain knowledge about it, right? So we have to stay focused, we have to stay updated on different subjects and different topics. This will help us to gain knowledge on that topic, and once you have knowledge on that topic, it will be much easier for you to speak on it. Okay, you can have a conversation on that topic, right? Very well, because you know about it. And if you don't know about anything, definitely you won't be able to speak up. And if you speak up, if you take an attempt, you will go wrong in that. So definitely, if you don't know about anything, please don't speak up. You can always say, sorry, I didn't get a chance to have a look at it. Can you please give me some more ideas or some more information about it? Okay, you can always say this to have the conversation going or to keep the conversation going. So these are some ideas or some tips which will help you to keep the conversation going and not ending the conversation then and there. Okay, so this is what you have to be updated. You have to keep yourself updated on whatever is happening across the world in different fields. Okay, this is another thing. The third and the most important one is to be a good communicator or to have a good conversation in English or to be a good English communicator. You need to use your body language. You need to use different examples and experiences to support your conversation. Yes, people love knowing about experiences. People love listening to stories. People love knowing about experiences and examples from your life or somebody else's life. So when you are saying something, if you're supporting that with an example or with an experience or with a story, it will make a big impact, or it will have a good impact on the other person, right? And the other person will be more interested in listening to you. Trust me on this. And supporting your conversation with a story or an experience or an example is not difficult at all. Okay, I can also come up with an example here, and I can tell you, yesterday I was in a session and one of the attendees asked me a question like, how did you manage to be a good communicator? How did you manage to speak English fluently? And you know what I told him? I gave him an example that, the turning point in my life was, I was in school and I was asked to come in front of the class and give my introduction to everybody. And I went there, but I was so nervous. I was not even confident. I couldn't speak a word. I just said hello and I stopped. And it was so embarrassing and so heartbreaking for me that from that day I vowed, I made it a point that I am going to learn to speak English fluently and confidently, so that I can go on stage or anywhere else, whoever asks me to speak anything, I can definitely go and speak to anyone. That was a turning point in my life. So I supported this with an example. He said, how did you learn to speak English fluently? And I told that I was not at all a good communicator. I was not at all a fluent English speaker. I couldn't even introduce myself there in front of my class, right? But that was my turning point, and I made sure that I will make sure that I start speaking English fluently and confidently, so that wherever I am required to speak in English, I am definitely going to do it. And see, here I am. I have managed to speak English fluently and confidently now. So this was my answer. I just supported it with an example to make sure that he understands, where did I start? How did my journey start? I was not a good communicator at all since beginning. Okay, so it's not difficult to give examples, guys. It's not difficult to support it with your own experiences or a story, right? You might know a lot of things. We all know a lot of things on different subjects and topics. We have heard a lot of stories. We have heard a lot of conversations. We know a lot of things about what is happening. It's just that when we are speaking to somebody, we can just support it with these things so that it becomes little more interesting and a little more realistic, so that people can relate to it or understand well and get interested in knowing more. So these are the 3 things, guys, you need to take care of while you are speaking in English, or while you are having a conversation in English. Now, these things are very important. These are very small things, right? Paying attention or listening properly, right, to what the other person is saying, getting the ideas right and information right, and then speaking on it is not difficult. Getting knowledge on different subjects, on different topics which is happening across the world, is not difficult at all. You can take up a newspaper, you can start watching something news on YouTube, or you can start reading an article, listening to an article on YouTube or an article on Google is not difficult at all, right? You can do that to collect knowledge, to gain knowledge on what is happening across the world. That is also easy. And the third one is supporting with examples, real life examples or experiences or a story will make your speech more interesting, more realistic and more interactive. So that is why people will be more interested in knowing and talking to you. So if you take care of these 3 things, definitely you are going to be a good communicator in English, or your communication skills will definitely improve and you will be able to interact in a better way with anyone and everyone. But the only thing is, you have to speak. Yes, you don't have to think whether you are grammatically correct or not, whether your pronunciation is great, whether your English is good or not, doesn't matter. It's just that you have to make sure whatever you are thinking, you are trying to translate it in the best possible way. Okay, That is the only thing. So start communicating, start speaking, start engaging yourself in a conversation, and it's definitely going to help you. And if you take care of these 3 things while you're speaking, it will be very easy for you to become fluent and confident in speaking in English, and you will definitely become a good communicator in English. Apart from this, you might have some more ideas which you think can help you to become a better communicator, or your conversation skills can improve in English. You can start thinking about those ideas also, start speaking on those ideas as well. So you can combine everything and you can start speaking on it. Okay, so guys, that's it for today. I'll see you in my next session. Until then, keep learning, keep speaking, keep watching, and keep exploring. See you. Bye-bye and take care.